Odd one today compared to what it's been. I guess we're up in the 50s trying to warm up just a little bit. Maybe it's these guys from Florida that came in to help us warm up a little bit.
I don't doubt that.
I bet it was. They're bringing the heat. We've got Greenland is melting, speaking of our heat theme. Joining me right here in the Bob King Igloo. Just whatever you do, don't melt our igloo.
We'll do our best.
So we're pretty honored and pretty happy to have you guys here. For anybody out there that doesn't know,
Thanks for having us.
this is a band out of Gainesville, Florida, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And they're going to be rocking the house, tearing down the walls tonight out at Cafe. So tell me a little bit, tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves, where you're coming from, what you've been up to. Give us some scoop.
Carl and Will started the band probably 3 years ago with a couple other members.
Like any good band, there's a bunch of weird shit that happens in the beginning. And then we ended up with a proper lineup in the end. So we had like a drummer who didn't work out very well,
Right.
and then we ended up with me and this guy Sean threw it on accident.
I was playing like
mandolin and trumpet.
mandolin and trumpet when I started the band. Yeah.
And so basically your lineup, at least in here I know, of course we've got this nice big fat stand-up bass. We've got banjo and guitar. And is that the gist of it? Is that what's going to be going on tonight?
That's our
So you're rolling
proper-
without a drummer?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
our
that-
proper band. We have a few friends who play.
That's our road
instruments,
setup. Yeah.
Right.
But they're not full time. We have the venerable John Gaunt playing violin on our album.
Nice.
And stuff. So it's kind of good to tour when we can, but hard to pull them away from warm Florida. Hey, you guys want to drive up 500 miles, sleep in a van in Wilmington? They're like,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Sure, it's really nice and warm up there. We've actually been freezing our tails off up here, but it's a little bit better. So speaking of your album, you got a new one out called Our Hearts Are Gold, Our Grass is Blue.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually been spinning a little bit of this No More Sorry songs. It has definitely grown on me the past few weeks since we've been playing it. Very catchy, very fun. Tell us a little bit about the making of this record. It's your second album?
It's our
It's our first studio.
It's our
album.
first
Okay.
proper album. We
Gotcha.
have a record that we don't really do
We don't
much
talk
anymore.
about that. We
It's-
recorded it in bathrooms and a bedroom.
And not in the good way, not like a good kind of
it wasn't like an
bathroom.
artsy way. It was all we had.
Yeah.
It's a reject
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
But something, when you're getting started, you got to have something to
Well,
at least
yeah, of
let people
course.
hear you. So you
It's kind
guys
of like how
start-
Radiohead fans feel about Pablo Honey. You kind of just
Right.
pretend it's not really there.
Right.
And kind of go for the fans afterwards.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So then tell us about making your first, quote, real record.
It was pretty intense. We recorded with a guy named Rob McGregor down in Gainesville. He recorded Against Me's As the Eternal Cowboy.
No, yeah,
No. Reinventing Axl Rose. I'm
he was
sorry.
producer of As the Eternal
And he was the
Cowboy.
producer of that one. He also
He-
did Hot Water and
Whiskey
And he's
and
just like
Company.
great, skinny, vegan, awesome guy. And he keeps your rules.
yeah, he's
And we had all like written all the songs because it's finally like you spend a year kind of figuring out what the heck the band's gonna be,
Right.
and then it kind of like, all right, we got a lineup, let's go with that now, and kind of pull our influences from the Avery Brothers and from all kinds of pseudo bluegrass, I
Right.
guess, or new grass, whatever the heck people call it
Kings of
nowadays.
Leon and White Stripes. That's,
Yeah.
my band.
Gotcha.
Reverend Peyton and all that stuff. So.
For anybody out there, if you're just jumping in your car, you're just wondering what's going on, of course you're tuned into Penguin Radio here in Wilmington. We've got live in the studio. Greenland is melting from Gainesville. They will be out at Kefi tonight, tearing it down, no doubt about it. I got a spot on the guest list. I'll be giving away to one of you in just a few. We're going to let them maybe play a song or two for us so that you can get to know them a little better if you don't already. So what do you say, guys?
I said let's
Sounds
do it.
good.
All right. Now you're going to play, I guess, No More Sorry Songs. What you're going to start us off with.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Little-
All right, everybody
Roll
out
the
there.
goodie.
Everybody out there, stop what you're doing, turn it up. Check it out. It's Greenland is melting here on the Penguin.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I swear I'm taking socks off and stopping on the phone. The guitar's been letting us hang around myself for so long. I barely recognize the difference there between right and wrong. It comes and goes, and leaves me broke. This guy's the only one that knows. It's not my fault, I swear to God, it's not my fault. I've been losing sleeping drugs lots of time and 20 pieces of my mind far without asking me. I don't need them right now.
very small private audience hanging out here. Greenland is melting right here live in the Bob King Igloo. Going to be live and in person tonight out at Kefi. I got a spot on the guest list for one of you out there. If you are interested, stick around. We'll open the phone lines up in just a couple of minutes. So I can only imagine what you must be like on stage. There's a lot of energy coming through right here.
Oh yeah, lots of moving. We like to move.
Lots of moving and
We do our
shaking.
best.
Dancing.
So I just to make sure I got straight, you guys have been together officially, formally,
About 3 years.
about
now.
3 years.
Our first
A little
show
over
was
3
in
years.
August of 2007, so
Gotcha. And where do you see yourselves going? Do you have visions?
on the road
On the
all
road.
of the time.
Forever and ever.
Now I was reading a little bit about you guys, and I was reading about you sort of breaking away from the quote Gainesville sound. If I'm not from that area, what is the Gainesville sound?
It's very heavy punk.
Gotcha.
Against Me, obviously, is the standout one.
Right.
Then there's
Hot
also
Water Music.
Hot Water Music with Chuck Reagan and Chris Waller. Also, obviously, Less Than Jake. They're probably the biggest band out of Gainesville. Actually, the drummer from Less Than Jake owns the record label that we're on, Paper and Plastic Records.
And Paper and Plastic Records, that is where your new album is to be found. Our Hearts Are Gold, Our Grass is Blue. I imagine you'll have some copies available tonight out
Oh,
at Kefi.
definitely.
But for those who
We got
maybe aren't
blue
able to make it out
vinyl
there
and-
tonight, where else might they find your music?
You can download our record for free at greenlandismelting.com. If you want a copy of the vinyl, you can get it on Paper and Plastic's web store.
We will also have plenty of copies tonight.
Plenty of copies tonight. And if you didn't
Or-
hear that, you
or-
can download it, he said, for free.
We're a small band, so
Right,
if you email us or give us a call, we'll get back to you.
Gotcha.
Download it for free.
we love
You'll want the
hearing
vinyl.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
album,
no
it's
doubt.
pay what you want, which means free. Please, everyone steal it. We would love it if you
Just to
stole
get
our
it
music.
out there.
That would be
Steal it and
awesome.
give it to your friends. Come on.
So-
All right, so of course I got to ask the question. Tell me about the band's name.
Oh, Carl, you want to take that one?
I usually make up something new every time I say it.
Give us a new story. Just give us one.
The most recent one was, I think we said that it was a line from Titanic.
It's what the captain says in Titanic right at the
Yeah.
very end. You don't hear it, he just mutters it, but
Yeah, just listen to it really slow and turn it way up. It says, it's right before the glass breaks at the end. You know.
Right. Greenland is melting. So now, is there another story, like a more real story? Or
yeah, I was gonna say.
There really isn't.
Well,
There really
It's
is.
kind of like one of those ones where you're driving down the road and you're like,
It's-
okay, I need a band name. What are we gonna do?
it's
Okay, this is good. I'll
Gotcha.
it's
introduce
the
it to
kind
the
of name
band.
that you can't like immediately peg down the genre when you hear the name. You can't say, oh, that's an indie band or a metal band or a
We
hardcore band.
met a guy the other night. He's in a band called Guillotine. I'm like, I could pretty well pin what kind of music. You know, play thrash metal. I'm like, well,
Right.
I gathered.
Right.
So like,
We did get one billing a long time ago that was green lemons melting, which I thought was great. That would be probably if we weren't green lemons melting, we'd be green lemons melting.
Right.
that was our Dali phase.
That's,
Yeah,
that's a little
exactly.
thought-provoking, that one.
No, the best though is we played with a band called Everything Is Okay from Gainesville,